All right, guys, in the last lesson, we learned how to clean up our data a little bit. We wanted to take all of the student names in the class and split them into first and last name. The way that we did that is we started by highlighting all of the names, which again, you left click on the top entry, right, hold down the shift key, left click again, that will highlight them all. You go to data, split text to columns, and now you've split them so that we have all the first names here and last names here. So our column headers are switched. Before we move some stuff around, you can just, well, let's do that again. We'll go ahead and insert one to the left. We're going to move our names over to that new space on the left by highlighting them, moving our mouse to the edge of the highlighted region so we get the hand. Click that, hold it down, drag it to the left, and then we'll drag our headers there as well. So now we have first name on the left, last name on the right. We're pretty good to go there. We'll put in a random number. Whenever we type an equation in Excel, we hit equal, and then the equation we're going to use here is RAND, R-A-N-D, open parentheses, close parentheses, and that'll give us a random number between 0 and 1. Last time I showed you how you can grab the bottom right corner here and drag it down. That will give you a random, that will fill that formula in anywhere you drag it. I'm going to show you another quick way to do that. If you hover your mouse so that you have the plus sign there and you just double click it, it will automatically fill in that formula down into your last entry. So with 2 clicks, I've now assigned a random number to all of these names. Okay, so how do we do that with sampling? Or how do we use this to do sampling? Well, I've now assigned a random number to all of my entries. So one way to sort of pick them out of the hat would be to sort them on these random numbers. And we'll take just the top 5 entries, for instance, if I wanted to randomly choose 5 people in the class. So I can left click on Jack's name there. Come down here to the bottom right, hold down shift, click again. That will highlight all of my entries. Right click, go to sort range. Notice this time in my sort, I did not include the header row. So this time I'm going to leave header row blank. I want to sort it on the random the column C. Then I sort it, and now I have 5 random people at the top. So if I was going to do some sort of survey, I could pull Helena, Gabriel, Ryan, Jordan, and Jackie, and they would be the 5 people that I drew at random from the class. Everybody in the class had an equal chance of being one of those people when we assigned the random numbers. That gave us a chance to do that. So here I've conducted a simple random sample using a random number generator instead of the tables that they talked about in the video. I'm going to undo that with Control Z, bring us back to our data being sorted by last name. Let's say that I want to assign groups, and I decide that I want 6 groups. There are 37 people in the class. I look down here at row 38. I know I have a header row too, so it's 37 people in the class. So if we did groups of 6, 6 times 6 is 36. We'd have a remainder of 1. So one group's going to have one more person than the other. So let's make a new header and call it group. I'm going to have 6 people in each group, so I'm going to put 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Trying to make sure I get 6 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last group's going to have 1 extra person in it. So now I've given everybody in the class a group. Let's make that bold. So our other sampling methods, we looked at one way to do the random sample, which would be to highlight everyone and sort on that random number. The data does have header rows. So that would give me those 5 people would be a random sample. So over here to the side, let's do some sampling. Simple random sample. And we're going to do 5 people for each of them. Now, when you do a sample, a convention in statistics is to refer to the number of people in the sample as n. So sometimes you'll see surveys that'll say like n equals 1,200. That means they surveyed 1,200 people. So we're going to say n equals 5, and I'm going to do a random sample of 5 people. So we sorted those 5 people. I've got 5 people right there. I'm just going to copy that with Control-C and paste it there with Control-V. So those would be my simple random sample. Yours should be different because these are random numbers. You're going to get a different group of random people. Let's say I want to do a cluster. And in our cluster sample means that we divide the population into groups. And then we want to select the whole group at random, right? So here's what I'm going to do for that. First thing I'm going to do is put my data back so that it's ordered by group. I want to get real comfortable sorting data. It's pretty useful technique here. So we're going to highlight everything, right click, sort, and this time we're going to sort by our group, which is column D. So now everybody's back in order by their group. And I'm going to go ahead and I want to pick one of those 6 groups at random. If I had a dice laying around, I could roll the dice. But let's look at how we would do it in the spreadsheet. We're going to use another one of our random options. So we're going to say equals rand, except this time we're going to do rand between. Which is going to choose a random integer between 2 values. So we're going to say rand between. We're going to have an open parentheses. A lot of pretty much every function in Excel starts with open parentheses. Guys, you're going to notice that I say Excel and Sheets and Spreadsheets all interchangeably. This is Google Sheets. It works nearly identically to Excel. They're very, very similar. All right. And we're going to say we want a random number between 1 and 6. So we're going to do 1, 6. Close the parentheses, and now it will generate a random number between 1 and 6. In this case, it's generated 6. So I'm going to choose everybody in group 6, which means I'm going to have an n equal to 7 in that case, because we had 7 people in group 6. So I'm just going to take everybody in group 6 down here, and I'm going to copy them and paste them right here. And that's going to be my sample. I'll get rid of that. Notice again, one of the quirks with these spreadsheets is every time you change a cell, it updates the random number. So now it's giving me a different one. So I'm going to go ahead and just type that this is group 6. And it just now deleted my function. All right, let's look at how we would do a stratified sample. And let's say that we decide that our strata is going to be their groups, and we want to randomly pull one person from each group. There's a couple ways to do that. Probably the easiest way to do this would be kind of manually, where I would sort everybody here on that random number again. And this time I would probably just pick the first person in each group to come up. So I have group 4, their representative would be Nathan, and I put Nathan here. Group 1 with Sierra, put Sierra there. Group 5 is Noe, there's Noe. Group 2 is Neo. So we have, probably should have written this out. Nathan was group 4, group 1, group 5, group 2. Jasmine is in group 4, and group 4 is already done. So we need a group 3, and we need a group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need group 6. So first group 3 that pops up here is Sydney. Our first group 6 that pops up is Savannah. So now we've conducted a stratified sample. We split the class into 6 groups. We wanted to sample one person from each group. So that's what we've done. Probably a better way than I just did this would be to actually put the groups in order here so that you know what to look for. But we still ended up with one person from each group. Another sampling method we looked at was systematic. So let's sort people back by last name. And when you talk about systematic sampling, you have what's called a K value, which is which number person you're going to pick. So if you picked every second person, your K value would be equal to 2. Or if you picked every third person, your K value would be equal to 3. You really want to choose that K value randomly as well, again, to remove as much personal bias as you can. So maybe we decide that we want to sample 5 people. So we're going to have n equals 5. And we want to sample every, well, let's let the random number decide. So we're going to say equals rand between. And we'll decide that we want to do something between, we want to have a group, we want to have 5 samples. There's 30 people in the class. So we really can't pick something, or 37 people in the class. We really can't pick anything higher than like 7. So we're going to say somewhere between 1 and 7. So 1 comma 7, close parentheses. So every 6th person we're going to choose on our list here. So n equals 5, k equals 6. And that's what we're going to do here. So we start at the top and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Emily is our 6th person. And the next one we're going to pick is our 12th person. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got Neo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brianna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lottie. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thomas. And is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is our 5-person sample. So we've now done a systematic sample. So here's an example of how if you had a list of people and a population, you could use the various sampling methods to conduct a sample. So I would like you to do the same thing in your spreadsheet and make it look like mine here so that you have a simple random sample, a cluster sample, a stratified sample, and a systematic sample for this population set. Okay, that's it, guys. Have a great day.